Good morning, good afternoon, good morning, still morning, at least where I am, to everyone, and a Merry Christmas to you all. This is a short car dawah to remind you all that today is haram. It is a haram day. Actually, to those of you to the HAFEZ TV channel, you may not be aware of the car dawah ritual. I used to do them on the banksy style live. Just to remind my Muslim brothers and sisters that this is a haram day. Do not eat the haram food. Do not celebrate with your family because it is haram. Anyway, I wish you all a wonderful day. I hope you're all sitting happily with whoever you are. If you are not with family and friends and you find yourself alone, do not let it get you down. Call someone, get someone on a phone, get someone on a what's it called, video call. There's always someone to reach out to. A friend in need. A friend in need is a friend indeed. But yeah, if you find yourself not with anyone, then do that. Unfortunately, I am on my way to a family gathering. Oh Christ almighty, these people are artards and cannot drive. So yeah, a merry new year to you all, for those of you who are celebrating it. Of course, we do know that this day is all about Jesus. Jesus is King. Jesus is your Lord and Savior. Remember, he wasn't actually born today, but it doesn't matter, because that's what the Catholic Church decided it would be the day. Hello to those of you who are watching, and the many millions that are there. I believe there's about 2 million right now. So what's my Christmas wish, Christmas message? I don't have one. I really don't. I don't have a deep thought. Just be happy, be merry, prepare yourself for 2026. Get yourself ready, because if you're in Europe, certain poo-poo caca is going to hit the fan, I'm sure, in 2026. A lot of people are predicting economic issues, so just be prepared, be in code yellow, get yourself ready. There are some people who do not know how to drive. Stay in your lane, stay in your lane. Pick a lane, lady, pick a lane. Good God. All right. Sorry, there's just people who just you know. I don't want to be upset today. It's a happy day. It's Christmas. It's, you know, Christmas Day. But some people just don't know how to keep in the lane. Just, you know, sometimes you want to, like, stay in your lane, mother sucker. And they just don't know how to do that. They just don't know how to do that. They just don't know how to stay in their lane. They keep crisscrossing, no indication, just cutting you up. And yeah, there's my old man get off my lawn speech. So boys and girls, are we ready? Are we ready for 2026? Are you ready to renew that gym membership that you'll never use? What can we do? What can we do practical in 2026 that would allow us to do? Oh, big up Roy, Merry Christmas, mate. Big up my man Roy and John and Roy. I'm gonna try and catch you guys on Saturday if I can. I'll ping you over a message, see if you guys are in London. I'm sure from the river to the sea people will be there. The thing is, there's a whole bunch of stuff I want to talk about, especially on the Banksy style channel, not on this channel. About the the Bondi Beach incident in Australia, about all the different Christmas markets attacks, but it's all depressing crap, and I don't want to talk about depressing stuff on Christmas Day. Christmas Day is a jolly holiday, so you know, we want to be all jolly and happy. So let's be positive. Let's look to the positive side of things. Get yourself physically, mentally, and financially in shape for 2026, especially if you're in Europe. I believe the American government is actually banning people who are actively working against free speech online from entering America. I don't know if you've seen this. I mean, I'll be honest, that's a news that makes me happy. That's a wonderful news. There's several people who've reported on this. 2C TV also reported on it, that several prominent European Union members have been banned from the United States because they are actively working against free speech, and they are actively trying to essentially censor or ban or rein in X. You see, there's a bunch of people who are getting all bent out of shape. Oh, the American government can't tell the European Union what to do with their laws. They can act the way they want. Yeah, sure. The American government isn't telling you what to do. They're saying if you're acting like a dictator and are circumventing and are actively prohibiting your citizens, because these laws, by the way, they were made by the European Commission. They were in the European Parliament. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure there's probably none, but for those of you who don't know, the European Parliament and the European Commission is not an elected body. The European Parliament, you can elect your MEPs, but the Commission is not an elected body. It is a selected body, it's an appointed body in which it can actually institute or write laws, which then the European Parliament essentially rubber stamps. But there is no discussion, there is no consensus from the European members, citizens of those countries. He's banned Labour MPs, yes, EUs, exactly. And the fact is that these laws that are made in Europe are not by the consensus of the people of Europe. They are by the Commission, which is not an elected body. It is a appointed body. That's why I would Brexit 1,000 times if they gave me the vote again. I was actually discussing this with my brother, who's a blue-pilled sort of Europhile. And I said, if they give me the vote again 100 times, I will vote Brexit 100 times. Because if you actually know what the European Union is and the European Commission is, it is not a democratic system. They are lying to you when they tell you it is a democratic system. It is not a democratic system. The people in the European Commission are not elected members. They are selected members. They are appointed members. So this is not a democratic system, and these people who are huffing and puffing on X about the Americans cannot circumvent the democratic system of the European Union. We are a sovereign democratic system. No, you're not. You lying sacks of dirt. You're not a democratic system. You are a leftist, essentially oligarchy, a dictatorial system in which you tell the people of Europe what to do because you think you're better than them. That's what you do. Otherwise, you would have referendums on every law that is passed within the European Union. You would put it out to some sort of a referendum to the individual countries, and they would all vote. The actual people of those nations, member nations, would vote on whether this law should pass or not. But you don't do that. You don't do any of that. You pretend that the MEPs are somehow a representative of the people, but we know that they're not. MEPs are not a representative of the people, and most people in most of these European countries don't even give a crap for an MEP. When was the last time when before Brexit, when was the last time any of you actually voted on an MEP? The only person that made it even worth thinking about voting for the MEP was Nigel Farage, and that's because he wanted to get out of Europe, and he eventually succeeded. So no one cares. No one cares, and that's why no one cares about these MEPs and these Labour members being ousted and being expelled from US, because the US is also a sovereign nation. It also believes in certain freedoms and rights. It has a constitution which ironclad allows its citizens the freedom to speech. And if you are in the America circumventing their laws and trying to circumvent and try to undermine their freedoms, then yes, they will ban you from their country. And the funny thing is, they'll do this in the UAE, they'll do this in Dubai, in Saudi Arabia, they'll do this in Russia. But I don't see any of these Labour and MEPs complaining and crying about Russia, about the Emirates or the Saudis. No, because they're like, oh, they're dictators anyway. It's one rule for one dictatorship and one rule for no. Americans have a ironclad statement of rights within their constitution to say, you are not going to circumvent, you're not going to silence the people of this nation's voice. And the fact is, this is where the mismatch between the boomers' understanding of the internet and the young generation's understanding of the internet is. The boomers think they can control the internet. This is the problem with politicians today. This was personified with the Piers Morgan interview and Daniel Finkelstein and his opinions. These boomers think that they can actually control people's opinions and minds like they did back in the 90s and the 80s. But that is not the case anymore. It is absolutely the Wild West of information nowadays. And you know, as the old saying goes, knowledge is power. And now these people no longer have a stranglehold on your knowledge. Now, I don't agree. I mean, it was actually the same speech, by the way, that Ben Shapiro gave. And that's another video I got to make, is on Ben Shapiro and his speech in Turning Point USA. The fact is that these guys, they've never worked, these so-called freedom of speech fighters, or people who fought for freedom of speech supposedly on the right in America, people like the Daily Wire, they're not actually out for freedom of speech. I've always noted that, by the way. They're not ever out for real freedom of speech. They're out for their freedom of speech. And it's the same. Look at this dipshit. What are you doing? There's an ambulance coming and you're still going forward. You absolute tosser. I swear to God, I could slap them. Sometimes. Yeah, exactly, Roy. Ben Shapiro is finished. He's shown himself for the Zionist shill that he is. Now, again, I totally support the state of Israel, but I don't support the state of Israel over Britain, over the welfare and well-being of Britain. Certainly not. And I don't think any Americans should support the welfare of Israel over the welfare of USA. And unfortunately, people like Ben Shapiro have been exposed that they literally would burn America down to the ground if it will enrich Israel. And if you're on that camp, then no, I'm sorry. I'm only in the camp of mutually beneficial situations. And if Israel's interests are not mutually beneficial to Britain or the interests of this country, then no, I'm not in favor of Israel's interest. I'm not out for Israel's interest any more than I'm out for Japan's interest, any more than I'm out for Iran's interest or Russia's interest. No, I'm out for the British interest first, because Britain is my home. Britain is the land I have my loyalties to. So I don't care. And this is the problem with the American commentators. They think that, you know, people like Ben Shapiro, that if they are not 100% Israel or nothing, then somehow they're not loyal to America. They are trying to equate American loyalty to be Israeli loyalty, and that is not the case. Americans have the right to not be loyal to Israel if it doesn't benefit American interests. And if they deem it that way, then so be it. Again, I am 100% for the state of Israel, and I do support, and I think they're on the right side of history, even when it comes to the situation in Gaza. Although the devastation is quite severe, unfortunately, sometimes you have to bring down the hammer in order to let these moronic terrorists know that no, you can't get away with shit like that. You come into my house and you kill my people, I will not only kill you back, I will kill 10 times of you back. This is not an eye for an eye. This is an old saying that says it's an eye for an eye. No, if you take an eye, I'll take your friggin' head. That's how it should be. That's how it used to be, and that's how Israel treats it. So I'm not even against that. I'm actually on board with that. That if you come and you kill my people, I will kill every mother sucker that utters your name. You rape and kill my kids and my women? You must be joking if you think I'm going to be proportional with that shit. This is naive, moronic speech of idiots who have no clue about how the world works. Nobody else would operate under those circumstances, and I don't think Israel should be shackled by it either. And this is the asymmetric warfare. Essentially, they want Israel to fight, where the terrorists, because they're called terrorists, can rape and pillage, but you can't touch them. You can't do this. Oh, they're hiding behind a school. Oh, he's hiding behind one brick of a mosque. Can't bomb that. Fudge no. Hell no. I am bombing the living shit out of him and the mosque that he lives in. So yeah, I mean, this is all nonsense. This is asymmetrical bullshit that they claim that they want one rule for the Hamas lot and one rule for the Israelis, and Israel doesn't give a crap. And again, I support that. But again, going back to the original thing, the original subject, I want to revert back. I've digressed quite a bit. When it comes to freedom of speech, when it comes to boomers, hello, Pauline. Merry Christmas, everyone. When it comes to freedom of speech, I personally think that the Americans got it right. They're the only ones that it's been proven over and over again with all the Anglosphere, when it comes to Canada, the Europeans, the Australians. The Americans are the only ones that really have it down right. The rest of them are morons and dictatorships and censorious asswipes who want to silence you. And by the way, they will always use the kids. What about the kids? But somebody think of the children. Nonsensical bullshit. So no, if you don't align with America's ideals, you're out. The funny thing is, if they had banned, and they have banned, politicians or people who want to circumvent the American system from Russia, from New Zealand, from North Korea, from Iran, there'll be no problems. There'll be no issues there. Oh, you want to ban Iranians or Iranian politicians? You want to ban Russian politicians? You want to ban North Korean politicians? You want to ban Pakistani, the Taliban from going to the US? Nobody seems to. I don't see any tweets complaining about that shit. And these Europeans and British Labour politicians think they're somehow special, that they should get special treatment than the Russians or the Iranians or the North Koreans would. No, if you're actively trying to circumvent America's liberal ideals and its citizens' rights and its corporations to operate as they see fit, then you're not welcomed in America. Tough. You wanted to go to that winter holiday in California or in Miami, in Florida, then no, you can't go. You're gonna have to cancel that Miami vacation this winter in order to get a bit of sun. You may have to go to, I don't know, the Canary Islands now. You wanted to go to Aspen for that skiing holiday? Tough shit. Tough titties. Gonna have to cancel that. You can't be a communist and be welcomed in America. And I don't see any issues with that. Good on them. Let them feel some of the sting of, at least let them have some consequences for their actions. You want to silence the European people. You want to silence the British people. You want to shut them up. You want to put 12,000 Britons in prisons a year for online crime offenses, so-called hate speech. Well, then there should be some consequences upon you. At least you can't go to America. At least you're banned from America for being the assholes that you are to the British public, to the European citizens. So this is, to me, is the most mildest of punishments. Personally, I would have them flogged. I'd go old school on them. But at least they're getting banned from being in, at least they're getting banned from going to America. That's like the minimum level of punishment. I'll be honest, it's just, I don't even think it's nearly enough. They should crank that up by 12 if it was up to me. But they, you know, it is what it is. But at least it's something. It's a sting in the tail of these dog dirts. Anyway, I'm ranting again. I'm on another rant. Merry Christmas. Happy days. Let's talk about happy shit. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. Labour politicians and European politicians who wanna ban speech, getting banned from America, is actually a happy story for me. That is a happy Christmas story. Other things, joyful things. Look, I think if we can get the Labour government out in the next few years, I don't know. A lot of people are talking about we're gonna have to hang on until 2029. But then some people are saying that if the economy collapses and totally tanks in the next year or two, they may have to call an early election due to the just simply a vote of no confidence within the government. Maybe Starmer gets a vote of no confidence and gets kicked out. I don't know. But if that's the case, then maybe we'll get a reform government in prior to that. But you know, earlier within 2027, by maybe 27, we'll get an early election. Who knows? But at the moment, look out for your family, look out for your people, watch your finances, don't overexert yourself on things that you don't have to. Look for new ways to have multiple streams of income. You do know that your average millionaire has at least 7 streams of income. God bless America. That's right, Roy. God bless America. At least have 7 streams of income. Well, I mean, let's be honest, most of us don't have that much of a stock portfolio. My hope is still in the lottery. That's my retirement plan, is to get 6 numbers, or maybe 5 numbers and 2 stars. Or a collection of memorable plates. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, if you don't have much of an investment portfolio, then build one. Look into one. Look into some sort of stocks and shares. There's always opportunities out there. Look into possible cryptos, although there's a lot of scams out there. The only ones I can really trust at this stage are Bitcoin and Ethereum. But you know, look into it. Maybe you get lucky and avoid a pump and dump. And generally, yeah, build up multiple streams of income. I'm sure you guys have talents out there that you can do something. Roy is a very talented man. He's extremely well watched on YouTube. So yeah, get yourselves going. As far as the new year, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gotta be. Just be prepared. Don't get caught off guard with the financial issues, and I mean they're gonna come for your taxes. They're gonna come for you hard. Fuel prices are probably still gonna go up. What the fudge is going on? Oh my God, these morons! Absolute Oh Christ, there's a car that's just crashed. The dude's just gone. He's just left his car in the middle of the road and just left. Has no F's to give. Dude has just left. Go you sly sack of shit, go. I'm sorry, my road rage is flaring up. It's just these assholes don't know how to drive. It's unbelievable how many morons don't know how to drive. You know, there was a commentary I want to give about roads, because the thing is with roads, with driving, sorry, with cars, how you can tell your society's collapse or your society's unlawfulness or generally the change within your society. I find looking at the way people drive is a very good indicator of where your society's headed, how your society's progressing. Because driving and the traffic system is a symphony of cooperation. It is a harmonious symphony of cooperation. Everybody has to do the right thing at the right time in order for everything to move smoothly. Because traffic lights are not some invisible barriers. They're not force fields that you have to stop at. No, you can drive right through a traffic light without anyone actually stopping you and create a massive accident, create a giant scene of carnage in which other people will be stuck in traffic for hours and you know, hours on end. So to do the right thing, to stop at the red light, to move when you should move, and to stop when you should and give way, all of these things are a harmonious symphony of cooperation where intelligent, decent people operate on those levels, and they work together and everything flows smoothly. In backwards third world countries, essentially what we would refer to as shitholes, people don't drive like this. People don't drive with courtesy and consideration for other road users. They drive like shit, and they drive selfishly. I need to get somewhere, I need to be somewhere, and I have to get there fast as possible, and I don't give a shit about other road users and how and where they're going and what they're doing. And so you can see when you import a influx of third world drivers, third world shithole drivers, they bring that same driving mentality and behavior with them in the nation that you're in. Because I can immediately tell you, when I drive through London, or when I used to ride a motorbike as well, I can immediately tell you when I'm in a white upper class majority area versus an ethnic majority area. Immediately, from the way people drive, from the way people give way, from the way people park. Oh my God, don't even get me started on the parking. These mother suckers and the shitty ass parking is unbelievable. And that is an indicator of where you are. And I have seen this over the last 20 years in London, 25 years, how London driving has declined every year, and it looks more and more like the way I remember people drive in Tehran, in Iran. Because in Iran, people drive like shit. I mean, I can't tell you how people drive in Mumbai or in Somalia or, I don't know, Nigeria. I can't, honestly, because I've never been to those nations, so I can't tell you exactly how they drive, although I can imagine. I've seen videos of the godforsaken driving in like India, but I can tell you on the first-hand experience of how shit people drive in Iran, and it is godforsaken awful. absolutely a diabolical, it's amazing, literally thousands upon thousands of people don't die a year. It is a miracle in itself that thousands of people a year just are not being wasted on these on the Iranian roads. And I'm sure they are. I'm sure their mortality rates on the roads are through the roof. But that's how you know where your country is, where it's declining. Because I can assure you that you can go to Japan and see how people drive there, and go to Mumbai and see how people drive there. Hello, Big Nose. Merry Christmas to you, sir. So that's the thing. That's the thing. The driving is and the way people drive and the way people park and give way is a brilliant indicator of who is in your country and who's driving and who's how people are behaving. Because I can tell you this, I can give you first-hand experience. Family members, friends from Iran who came to Britain in the first couple of years, they had like international licenses, so they could drive in British roads, but they didn't have training on how to drive in British roads. Hell, half of them couldn't even read the highway code. So you can see they were driving exactly as they would drive in Iran. The same habits, the same shitty ways of parking, and they just simply transplanted that into British roads. They didn't see any reason to change. Why should they change? Why would they change? It's the same. They have no incentive to change. They just came over here and carried on. Keep calm and carry on. So yeah, they just superimplanted their shitty habits straight over here, without any issue, without any, they didn't miss a beat. And you can see it. You can see it reflected in London. In London, I see it all the time now. I can tell you exactly which part of the world a person is from by their driving habits. I'm not joking. I mean, it may seem terrible. It's very, people would probably say it's racist, but you can see it. It's the reality. We're living in you can't, they say you can deny reality, you just can't deny the consequences of denying reality. And the consequences are that the roads are shit to drive on. That's why, and I understand now why they had to introduce the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. I despise Sadiq Khan. I pray that this man is somehow removed from this mayoralship. And from what I understand, he's going to get elected again, this sack of dirt. But, I pray every day that he's no longer the mayor of London, that this 20-mile-an-hour limit will be lifted. But I can see why. Because these Neanderthals, these third world, animals who drive like crap, the government can't do anything to really change their driving habits. So what they do is they just restrict the laws even tighter and tighter in how you can drive. So at least if these Neanderthals are driving at 20 miles an hour, they can hopefully save some lives, because they know, and most of them don't even drive at 20 miles an hour anyway. They're all people that drive at 20 miles an hour, the law-abiding dipshits. They're the ones who have to at least somehow control the other assholes driving. Go to Somalia or Sudan to see how they drive in their streets. Exactly knows. That's exactly what I'm talking about. These third worlders drive like shit, and they just transplant that driving habit over here. So what these countries have to do is they have to restrict their laws to try to control the bad driving attitudes of these third worlders, these foreigners. And they can't just set a law just for Somalis, just for Indians, just for Iranians. They have to do it for everyone. So we all suffer under draconian laws because of a bunch of foreigners who don't drive with courtesy, who drive like assholes. And by the way, that's going to reflect in all these other areas as well. restrictions on behavior in the streets. This is why they want to pass a misogyny law to sort of, you know, if you're staring at a woman on a train too long, it's going to be it's not because English people are staring at women on the tubes. It's because Afghanis are predatory assholes who are trying to grape women on the streets of London. Because when they see a woman in a short skirt, they lose their collective shit. Because an Afghani from a shithole village who was humping a donkey 2 weeks ago has now arrived in London and sees women in miniskirts and short tops, and they lose their shit. You think they can control their male urges? Last week he was humping billy goats. Now he's looking at your woman in a short skirt with a bit of thigh showing, and his fucking brain's lost it. He's lost his collective shit. So they have to now blame everyone, pretending as if it's not just the foreigners that are the sexual predators, and restrict your movements, your rights, your law, your civil liberties because of them assholes. We all know this. These draconian laws have to come into play because of them, not because of the average English guy, because he listened to Andrew Tate. You know this misogyny shit that they're talking about? How do we prevent misogyny? People like Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate isn't your problem. It's that fucking Sudanese and the Somali and the Afghan that you imported last week. They're the ones who are running around grabbing women because they have no self-control. It's not Andrew Tate encouraging 13-year-olds about misogyny. Oh, my misogyny. But that's the problem. They can't come out with it. They can't come out and tell you. We imported a bunch of sexually repressed Islamic morons who are now let loose like wild animals in your streets, grabbing every woman in sight. So we can't tell you that that's what we did to you. So we just have to blame Andrew Tate. It's Andrew Tate talking about women should be in the kitchen. Women should be in the kitchen. In these backwards nations, the women are not even allowed out the house. The Taliban are banning them leaving the house. They're banning them going to universities and schools. You think Andrew Tate has misogynistic attitudes? You should take a gander at what's going on in Afghanistan for a couple of minutes. But they won't tell you that. It's never an Afghani Neanderthal who came from a country that doesn't even allow women out the house, that's got slightly misogynistic attitude. It's got a slightly chauvinistic attitude. No, it's Andrew Tate. Oh, Merry Christmas. Bless you. Oh, bless you, Lieutenant. Bless you, Lieutenant, or LTG. I guess now I'm gonna call you Lieutenant. I don't know. I'm used to that now. Like you guys call me Banksy. Bless you. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm sorry. I'm off on another depressing rant about Afghanis and Somalis and Eritreans molesting kids. Should be more of a happy stream. But the sun is shining. It is a beautifully sunny winter's day, which is amazing in itself. We are now officially in winter, by the way. We have now transcended from autumn into winter. And it's not raining. It's not a white Christmas, but it's a sunny Christmas, which I appreciate. That's why I'm wearing the glasses, by the way. It's actually sunny. The sun is shining. And the weather is easy. Yeah, man. Yeah, so Christmas Day, if you find yourself alone, call someone, get on someone's video call, get on someone's stream if they're streaming, I don't know, whatever it is, gather yourself virtually or physically with friends and family or people who like you, who are good to you. There's always one person out there. Don't let the depression get to you. I know there's a lot of people out there who feel who get depressed at this time of the year. I'll be honest, I've got to knock on wood. I am very blessed with great family and friends. I never feel secluded at this time of the year. In fact, sometimes I wish I was I had a bit more time to myself at this time of the year. But I have to say, life has been very good to me. I've been very fortunate where I've never really felt loneliness at this time of the year. So if you are one of those people who find yourself, either for whatever reason, work, traveling, you're out there, you're for whatever reason you find yourself alone and you feel a bit down and depressed, get on a call. Call the person you've been wanting to call for months. Call your mom, call your dad, call a friend, and just have a 10-minute chat with them. And if they're a true friend, they'll appreciate it. And if they don't appreciate it, then to be honest with you, you should reconsider your friends. Reevaluate who you spend your time with. And yeah, enjoy the day, and let's make 2026 a bloody great year. Let's be hopeful. Let's be let's think of look on the bright side, and wish that 2026 is going to be a wonderful year. I could see actually a couple of amazing British English and a Union flag, but unfortunately I don't think I can actually show you with the thing because I'm driving. It's a bit dodgy. Just have to let it be. But yeah, this looks amazing. I'm on the embankment actually right now, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Actually, if you can, after you had your massive Christmas meal, if you are indulging in that, get out there and take a walk, because it is a gorgeous morning, mid-afternoon. Oh, come on, don't be a bitch, move, you piece of shit. You cut in front of me and then you drive like a bitch. Sorry, I can't help it. The road rage festers deep within me. So yeah, get out there, guys. Get out there and have yourself a very Merry Christmas. What else? I love the fact that I'm actually I don't know, maybe I'm just noticing them, but I'm noticing English flags, Union flags all over the place. If you guys can see, I don't know if you can see it, there's a couple of English flags on a church or something here. I think it's a church. You see, I just recently came back from the United Arab Emirates, from Dubai, and the main thing, and I've got to make a video about this, the main thing I noticed is that not only they have their flags on lampposts, but it's not a voluntary thing by the citizens. It is a required thing by their government. Their flags are everywhere, absolutely everywhere, and they are 100% proud of it. It is so refreshing to see a country that actually loves its people and its nation and its itself, essentially. To see a nation of people who are proud of being who they are. Emiratis. Now, don't get me wrong, they're a quasi dictatorship, but they're at least they have some of the freedoms that the dictators have allowed them, and the freedoms are pretty decent. They've got the security. I mean, they may not have all the freedoms that we have over here, but they have the security. They don't have millions of undocumented Neanderthals marching into their country, destroying their infrastructure, destroying everything. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I gotta say some of this. I can't expose all of it, but I'll be perfectly honest with you. Some of it makes sense. The foreigner knows you're you're a foreigner in the Emirates. There is no ambiguity. There is no you're one of us. You get a visa. You get a passport in a couple. No. You are the foreigner. This is the Emirates. The Emirate people are the natives, and if you F around, you will find out, and you will be treated differently and harshly by this system. You are not, you may live amongst us, but you're not one of us. That is well established in the Emirates. There is no question, there's no doubt, there's no ambiguity. You are here to contribute, and as long as you're a law-abiding, contributing member of society, you get to enjoy some of the luxuries of the infrastructure that we've built. But if you don't, your ass is grass. We will punish the living crap out of you, and then if we don't execute you, we throw you out immediately. So don't fuff around. Fafo. Do not fafo, people, when you're in the Emirates. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it, and everybody's fine. Like the other day, there was a guy who was giving Tommy Robinson shit because he was in the Emirates Saturday, I think it was last Saturday, to support Andrew Tate, I presume. That's probably why I was in Dubai. And the funny thing is, with all the criminal records and everything that Tommy Robinson has, they still gave him a visa to go into the Emirates, to go into Dubai. They still allowed him in. I mean, most countries, especially like Britain, has a rule that if you have a criminal record of any sort in another nation, there's a good chance you won't get a visa to come into Britain. But Britain, waives that depending on how famous someone is or rich or whatever. So they use that sparingly. But the Emirates, they let someone like Tommy Robinson in, knowing, I'm sure fully, that he is not exactly favorable towards the religion of Islam, that he has multiple criminal convictions. He's been in jail multiple times, although a lot of people would say he's essentially a political prisoner. And also he's been politically prosecuted in this country, which is certainly an argument that I agree with. But they still let him in Dubai. And then this mixed race sack of shit murderer, bona fide murderer. This man killed another human being. He was sentenced to 7 years or 4 years, in prison for manslaughter because he punched a poor Indian lad, and the guy's head hit the ground, hit the concrete, and after 5 days in a coma died of his injuries. This bona fide killer of a human being, piece of shit, starts to talk to Tommy about, oh, what are you doing in a Muslim country? Like, go F yourself, you absolute sack of dog shit. I can't believe this guy even had the goal. You're a friggin' murderer. You've been in prison for manslaughter, you sack of dirt. And you have the goal. Don't give him airtime. No. Like you're someone that people should give a shit about. No one even knows who you are. He actually gained himself a bit of fame by being the dipshit that he was to Tommy. Because before that, no one even knew, and immediately people found out that he'd gone down for manslaughter. It's like it took like a minute for the internet to expose his criminal. Oh shit! Look at this dipshit. Look at this dipshit. Just came bombing down in his old ass fucking Rover. What a cunt. So yeah. Oh damn! I shouldn't be swearing. I'm sorry. Merry Christmas. So yeah, I'm sorry. I can't really keep up with the chat. Just Merry Christmas to everyone who's been listening to this rant and all that. Oh, this guy is such a dick. I can see this is one of those dipshits that I can guarantee you he wasn't born here. He drives like an absolute. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I'm getting calls. I'm getting messages saying, where the hell are you? I will see you all maybe in the next day or two, just before the New Year's. So yeah, I'll probably be doing some live streams before the New Year. Merry Christmas, enjoy your day, and don't feel down if you're not with family or friends. Just work through it. Next year, you're gonna crush it. You're gonna be awesome. You're gonna do all the things that you've been wanting to do, that you've been putting off and procrastinating all this year. 2026 is gonna be your year. Come on. Peace.